In No Limit Hold'em, position is power, and the most powerful position is always being on the button.
Playing late in a hand gives you the opportunity to gauge what other players have got in their hands. If a player in early position has raised, then he very well may have a big hand. If a solid player in mid position comes out raising or re-raising, then they will definitely have a good hand. A weak player who has been raising lots of pots in mid position could easily have rubbish. Think of what other players could have. It won't cost you to fold at this stage, and if you've got a bad hand, throw it away. You can, however, play more cards from late position. If there has been a lot of callers, or even an early raise with a lot of callers, you can afford to call with a drawing hand. Playing in late position also minimises the chance of someone raising, because when you're on these drawing hands, you want to get in as cheaply as possible. Let's have a look at a few examples of why being in late position can be such an advantage. It should be remembered that we're using a short-handed table to show you examples. Most No Limit games have 9 players, so position becomes even more important. Sai's on the button and has 2 big cards, but as we discussed previously, he doesn't have the best hand. Here we see Stuart call for 2,000. Sai thinks that he may have the best hand, so he decides to raise his bet to 10,000. Both Boris and Stuart decide to fold. Sai now wins a 5k risk-free pot without even having to see a flop. Let's have a look at this hand if the betting takes a different path. Claire is in the first position, or under the gun, and decides to raise the bet up to 6,000. Stuart folds and Michelle decides to raise it up to 20,000. Now we have had a raise and a re-raise. Sai certainly doesn't like the look of his King-Jack now and quickly folds. Let's try this again. In this example, Sai is on the button and has 5-6, suited. Claire decides to call, as does Michelle. Sai likes his suited connectors and puts in 2,000 into the pot. Boris throws in another 1,000. Michael decides that he will raise the pot up to 6,000. Claire and Michelle throw in another 4,000 each and call. Now Sai is looking at a pot with already 20,000 in it. It's an easy decision to call. This is what poker dreams are made of. Sai has flopped the absolute nuts. Michael still comes out betting, 20,000. Claire quickly folds and Michelle calls and throws in her 20,000. Now we have a huge pot of already 60,000. Sai has 2 choices. He can call the 20,000 and wait for them to bet again, or he can end it here and move all in. There are no flush draws or any other real dangers, so it might be one of those times where it's safe to just call. Sai on this occasion decides to call for the extra 20,000 and brings the pot to over 80,000. The turn card is a very safe one for Sai. He still has the absolute nuts. Michael quickly moves all in. Michelle folds straight away and Sai, without any hesitation, pushes in all his chips. The river card is no help to Michael, who turns over his pocket aces. Sai turns over his straight and has won a monster pot. This is an excellent example of position poker. By playing position, you can win huge pots with hands that don't appear to be monsters at the start.
That pretty much wraps it up for the power of position. Your homework for this week is pretty simple. I want you to concentrate on playing less hands in early position and playing more hands in late position. I also want you to watch some good poker players, and I can guarantee you that they're going to be playing the majority of their hands in late position. I'm James Potter and I'm pushing the chips in your direction.